Okay, I think this is going to be a really fun video. We're looking easterly at the 57 acres. You can see the white buildings from the old church camp. We're looking down the private driveway. The red truck is parked there. So the road you see on the left, that's the gravel easement road. And we're going to back up and we're going to pan to the south. You can see actually further down on the easement road, the guys are parked with the truck and dozer. Off to the right, off in the distance, that's the county road. That's County Road 2660. So we took County Road 2660, went north on the easement road. Now we're looking easterly. So just across the road is where the property begins. We're at the west side looking east. As soon as you get just a little ways down that private driveway, I mean, you're just completely secluded. So awesome feeling of seclusion. We're kind of moving northerly, still looking east, so we're still looking over the property. Large flat area. The north side and the east side border the gravel riverbed, which the map shows to actually be the 11-point river, although it's dry in this spot most of the year. But there's a really cool rock bluff. I mean, this property basically has everything. It's got the gravel riverbed, the rock bluff, some little caves that we found. We didn't explore much, really. Whoa, I don't remember that. That was kind of scary. Some beautiful mature timber, some huge pine trees on this property. And the site of the old church camp itself is actually pretty cool. It was fun to poke around there a little bit. As we fly over that, we'll see a little more of that. But, oh my gosh, what's going on? That was bizarre. I don't remember that happening, and I had no idea what that was. Okay. So still looking easterly, you can see the gravel easement road and then the private driveway. So when you come to look at the property, there will probably be a cable up over the private driveway. We'd be happy to give you the combo for the lock for that. You can go on in and check everything out if you want to do that. This is basically, other than the trail and the couple cleared sites, this is basically all wooded with all different types of timber. So there's the truck. The church camp was, I believe, about 15 years ago, and they had several buildings. I mean, you can see all the stuff that's left from that. This is, I'm not sure how far power is. It's not directly on the property, and the church camp was completely off grid. They used solar and wind, and you can still see the little tower from the wind generator, and you can see what's remaining of their water catchment system and all that good stuff. We're flying easterly now. That's the private trail on the property that goes way down to the east through the immense grove of pine trees to a small site at the end. And I'm drooling as I look at those pine trees, because big mature pine, not only are they valuable, but they're excellent for building log cabins, because you've got such long straight sections in a white pine. And look at all those pine trees. That's fantastic. Once the property's been paid for in full, you're welcome to cut all the trees, to cut a few, to cut for firewood, cut for a cabin, but you've got to have the property paid in full first. Then you're welcome to do that. And the pine trees just keep going and going. That's fantastic. This is basically, as we fly easterly, one big long ridge. The property encompasses the ridge, and around where the ridge starts to slope down, you can see the gravel from the riverbed. Really just awesome property. I don't think we've ever had a tract this size in this area. We really thought about splitting this up, because this would split into multiple properties fairly easily, but we thought, we'll go ahead. Maybe someone does want the entire church camp or whatnot. We know it's a higher payment than most of our properties, but I mean, you're getting a lot more on this property than most of our properties. Okay, so now we're going to pan back to the west, and I think at some point we have put in another video clip, because the card ran out on the drone, so we had to fly back to the truck, put in another SD card, and we started over. That should be happening in a minute here. We're kind of backing up. We're trying to look westerly to get a good shot of the property. But you can see that riverbed on both sides, and we're looking west. The property sits between the riverbed. You can see the ridge off in the distance. You can actually see the clearing where we're parked at the old church camp. So it's a pretty good shot of the property um, over the east side looking westerly. Awesome area, just so popular for deer and turkey hunting. Specifically this property, this actual tract is well known for big whitetail deer, bow hunting and rifle hunting on this specific tract many times over the years. Okay, so now we're looking west. Good shot of the property, really. You can see that large ridge. You can kind of see that immense pine grove as well. I thought this cut out into a different video. Maybe I was mistaken. No, that's fine too. So now we're going to fly back toward the west. And I think we were headed over to the riverbed on the north to check out the really cool Rock Bluff area, which is really interesting. Huge gravel deposits in that creek bed, which is great. I mean, for building projects and for landscaping, you basically have tens of thousands of dollars worth of gravel right on site, which is really pretty cool. So like I said, that riverbed is dry almost all the time, but there will be a few times a year when you'll get some water in that. There we go. Okay, so now that video ended, we actually started a new video, and we're still looking westerly at the property, obviously. And I think we're going to fly right back where we were starting to fly in the last video. We're just so excited to have a property of this size in this area. It's awesome. Awesome. If you're a hunter, if you're into recreation, if you're into four-wheeling or riding your RZR or your side-by-side, I mean, this property's great. It's great for that. Nice private area, but I mean, you're only a few miles from several different towns. West Plains to the south is the biggest regional town in this area of the Ozarks. Northeast, you've got Mountain View. Northwest, you've got Willow Springs. Yeah, you're really nice and private right here. Just great property. Love this one. I think we were planning to try to take the drone down into the riverbed to really look at that rock bluff, but I don't know if we do that with this video. Maybe we're just here checking out some of the timber again. Not sure what we're doing. I think there was another trail that we had seen, and we were trying to get the drone down to really check that out. Looks like there's some clay in that hillside, actually. It has a reddish tint to it, so that's interesting. This area of the Ozarks is known for having caves, and with that rock bluff and just the topography, I mean, it would certainly not surprise me a bit if there were caves on this property. I do know that the one time when we walked part of that rock bluff, we did find some small caves that went right back in. I actually personally crawled into one. We've been selling property right in this area for almost 15 years, so I'm very familiar with this tract. And I actually crawled into one of the little caves in the rock face on this particular property. I'll see if I can find the old photo of that. It's pretty cool. Okay, so now we're headed westerly along the north side, so we're still looking at the property. This had quite a trail system going through it years ago. Most of them have grown up. Maybe they could be located and mowed again, but the main trail that goes to the east is mostly drivable with the pickup truck, and then the very end of it, you probably need a four-wheeler or need to widen it out a little bit. Okay, so now I think we're going to spin around and try to get some altitude and look at it from the northwest side. Okay, gaining altitude. So on the right, you can see the gravel easement road. The property sits to the left of that because we're looking southerly. And then on the left, you can see the gravel riverbed. So property sits between that road and the riverbed. Right toward the middle of the photo, now toward the right, you can see the old church camp. And actually, that's a pretty good shot because you can start where the church camp is and just follow it all the way down to the left, down that ridge. That's all on the property. It's spectacular. That's really why we didn't want to split this one, because you just won't find another tract like this with that huge ridge and the ridge. Oh, geez, that was strange. That scares me just watching it. I don't know what happened there. But it almost seemed like it'd be a shame to split this property up, because you'd have multiple nice tracts, but to keep it together and give one person the chance to get all of this in one tract was like, yeah, let's do it. Someone is going to absolutely love this. I could really picture someone building just a massive log home out here. I mean, that's the thing. You've got the logs on site. If you've ever priced true full logs for a log home, my goodness. Oh, wow. I do not know what the drone was doing. I'm glad it righted itself, though. So yeah, like I said earlier, once the property's been paid off, you can harvest the timber, you can cut for firewood, you can clear as many sites as you want. Before that, you cannot cut any trees with a stump diameter of over 8 inches, with the exception that we do make written exceptions for building sites and for trails and whatnot. So if you get out there and you just find the perfect site that has some big timber, all you have to do is mark the trees that you'd like to remove, and we'll have one of our guys come out there and take a look. And as long as everything is fine, then we'll give you written permission. Okay, so now we're looking westerly. Pretty good shot of the property, really. You can see the private driveway with the red truck parked by the buildings at the old church camp. And we're looking more or less east, maybe a little bit northeast. Flying backwards almost to the county road at the bottom of the screen. There's the county road on the right. That's 2660. So this actually is it's called Private Road 2661. That's the gravel road that we're seeing there. InstantAcres.com. If you've stuck with us through this 12-minute narration, then thank you for doing that. InstantAcres.com to see if this property is still available. We do leave the videos on YouTube so that the buyers can continue to view them and show their friends and family. So what you do need to do is go to our actual website at InstantAcres.com, and that's where you can see if this is available. Or give us a call in the office, or shoot us an email at sales@InstantAcres.com. Unfortunately, if this one is sold, we do not have anything else like it at all. This really is a unique tract. Truck parked near. I guess there were 3 cabins, and they've all kind of disintegrated. They're basically the 2x4 frame cabins, and they had the 15-year Super Duty custom tarps over them. But I guess it's probably been 15 years because the tarps have disintegrated a bit. But 2 of the cabins, the frame itself is in surprisingly good shape. But really, I don't know if they're salvageable. They're more interesting than usable. There we go, looking east over the property. And what are we doing? It's just about over. Thanks again for staying with us the whole time. There we go, there's our closing shot. You can see the cabins to the left of that is the windmill. They had some kind of power base unit at the windmill. It's pretty cool. Go check it out. InstantAcres.com.